So welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about you and your desires and what you want in life. And is it necessary to get a mentor or not? And by the end of this video, you will learn the reasons why I recommend a professional mentor. So, why should I hire a professional mentor? Why should you hire a professional mentor? I'll share with you my experience. So I grew up with coaches, with teachers, people that were there to share information with me. Not all of the information teachers and coaches shared with me were beneficial though. And I had experiences where that information came and I believed it and I carried it forward in my life that then ultimately ended up being painful and harmful. You may have had experiences like that as well. You know those people that love to give advice, right? They love to tell people how to live and what to do and what clothes to wear and where to eat and where to shop, right? You know people like that just offer free advice all the time. Have you found that to be really beneficial for you? Or sometimes are you just thinking, please, just let me decide for myself, right? So that happens in life. Sometimes people just freely give all this advice and information that I really don't care. I don't really care about that. That's not helpful for me. If I had a question, I would ask you, right? And so that type of information is not helpful. Or those times when I have been misled with information that wasn't helpful and I created certain beliefs that were non-working, that later on I had a consequence from that I had to deal with that was like, oh wait, that wasn't accurate. So we all have experiences like that with mentors, with parents, with coaches, with guardians that are well-meaning but don't really understand what they're talking about. And so for me, when it got time for me to hire my first professional mentor, I was thinking, because I've read stories and things about how these people found their mentors, and I was thinking, well, I just want someone to see me and the potential that's in me and just to take me under their arms and then just teach me without me having to pay for it, right? Because nobody wants to pay for that. It's basically paying to have a friend. That's weird. Right? You may have thought like that. I thought like that as well, which is I'm paying to have a friend. That's weird. I don't want to do that. So here's what happened for me. I was attending an event that I felt prompted to attend. So I was there in alignment as part of my work, and it was there to benefit me. And as I was sitting in this seminar, this speaker was talking about mentors and the importance of mentors and how mentors are there to educate, to help, and to really teach us and to help us move into that next level of life. And that everybody needs a professional mentor. And I was thinking, oh yeah, that would be nice, but if you didn't charge so much money, then maybe I would get a professional mentor, right? And so I had this experience, but as the time came and a certain group mentoring class was offered, I had this overwhelming feeling come to me that was just, you need to sign up for that class. And I was really scared to do so because in my mind I was like, oh, that's a lot of money. So for me, for that first group mentoring, it was $5,000. And to me, I was like, that is a lot of money that I don't have. How can I pay for that? And not only that, the speaker said that in order to join the class, you would have to be paid in full by the end of today. I didn't have that money. I didn't have the money in my account. I had like $2,000 or so in my account at the time. And that terrified me to think, okay, well, I felt like I really need to hire this mentor, but I don't have the money. And so I really battled with that in my head. And then the thought came, well, you could ask someone. And for me, that was a huge thing too, because I don't ask for help. I'm one of those people that I do it myself, and I was very proud to be independent and not need anybody's help. I was the one that gave help. I don't need help, right? You may connect with me on that level. And that's how I felt. And so I had a problem because I had felt very strongly that I needed to hire this professional mentor, but I don't have the money. And with the idea that I don't ask for help, that didn't work, because in this instance, I was going to need to ask for help. So eventually I swallowed my pride and I called up my dad and I said, okay, Dad, I really feel strongly that I need to sign up for this mentoring group and hire this mentor. It's $5,000. I only have $2,000 right now. Could you, you know how that is. Could you please pay the rest of the money for me and I'll pay you back? That was so hard for me. But my dad said, sure. And he paid that extra amount. So I signed up for that class and I hired my first professional mentor. So right there, in and of itself, hiring a professional mentor taught me very valuable lessons before I even had my first session with that mentor. The process of paying for it in and of itself was a huge lesson for me, that I don't have to do it all myself, that other people are out there to support me in my dreams. And all of this happened without me actually having a first session with that mentor. So I signed up for that professional mentor and I worked with that mentor. In the end, I ended up paying about $30,000 to that mentor working with him. And valuable, completely valuable. And I got so much experience from that and information that's really helped me achieve dreams that I thought were impossible. I had wanted to be an author and I had a book. Okay, that's nice. There's authors out there, but I had the thought, you're not one of them. So it was having a mentor that really helped me break through mental barriers that helped me to achieve these goals that I thought were great ideas, but I couldn't see myself actually living it. Working with mentors who are in a place that I want to be has really helped me, because I was seeing them, I was talking to them and spending time with them in a way that was so powerful for me, because you can't achieve it if you can't see it. You've got to see it in order to achieve it. And as I spent time with my professional mentors, I was seeing my dreams being lived. And in my mind, I started to create the thought, wow, it is possible. And this idea that these people are different than me, that gap shortened because I started to see them as people. And I was like, wow, they're people just like me. And if they can achieve this, maybe I can achieve this. Professional mentors, so valuable, so needed. And in the act of paying for them, there's so much value that comes as well. And not only that, these mentors are in places because they are living that experience. So the information that they gave to me was so valuable because they had done it. They achieved what I wanted to achieve, and they knew how to do it. So the information they gave to me, as I applied it into my life, I started to see the results. My income started to double, triple, quadruple. I started to have better relationships. I started to have more confidence. Right now, standing in front of you, without a professional mentor, I would not be here right now, today. My mentors are what helped me to build the confidence and the capability to be able to stand in front of you today, to let go of the pains, the hurts, those limiting beliefs that had been holding me back. And here's the other fascinating thing I learned. So as I've paid money for my mentors, so as I said, my first one was $5,000. My wife hired a personal mentor that was $10,000 for a year. And then we went for a couple years. And then I went to another class. And then I felt very strongly impressed to hire another mentor. And then this mentor is $25,000 for a year. And I was like, oh my goodness. But I had these other experiences where, as the thought comes, the prompting comes, that experience of you need to do this, just saying yes, and the money shows up. So at that $25,000 mark, I had a little moment where I went, you know, that feeling where you're just, how am I going to do this? Yeah, I had that there, but I said, nope, I feel strongly that I need to do this. I know the money will come. And it did. Time and time again, as I felt prompted to hire professional mentors, I have a freak out when I see the money price, but the money always shows up. Sometimes miraculously. I don't know where it comes from, but because I follow through, it shows up. And now I started to see a pattern. Okay, 5,000, 10,000, 25,000. It's like, okay, my next mentor is probably going to be $50,000. Really? And surprisingly, 5 months after I had hired this mentor for $25,000, I had that welcome thought and impression again to connect with this person. And then when it got down to it, I was like, okay, well, I don't have any money to hire another mentor at this time, so I can't. So that makes it easy. I'm just going to go meet with him and have this interview, and it's going to be great. And then when he asks for me to sign up for mentoring, I'll be able to say, sorry, I can't afford it right now, maybe sometime in the future. It's easy, an easy way to say no. So I went in, I had the session, and then at the end he says, okay, is there anything else that you would like to ask me? And I was like, I don't know. Is there any question that I should ask that I haven't asked? That's a good question. And he said to me, okay, well, let's have you ask yourself. So he had me close my eyes and tune in and ask myself, is there anything else that I should ask? And the thought came to mind, ask him what it would take to personally mentor with him. I had this moment again where I was like, no, I can't. I don't have any money. I already paid all the money for these other mentors. No. And so I was battling back and forth. My wife was there. I looked at my wife. I looked down. I looked at this man who was sitting across from me. And I looked back down. Looked at my wife, looked back down, looked at him, looked back down. And then I just started laughing. And they're looking at me like, okay, what's going on? And I said, okay, well, I need to ask you, what would it take to personally mentor with you? And I said, okay, well, it's not cheap, but we'll look at it. And it ended up being $54,000 to mentor with him. 5 months after I had already paid $25,000 for this other mentor. I had no way of seeing how this could work out. In my mind, it made no sense. Financially, no. Anybody looking at that situation would say, Austin, you can't. There's no way. But I had felt this super strong intuition. So I said, okay, we'll do it. I don't know how, but we'll do it. So we signed him up to be a mentor for us. And over a period of a month, we got all of the funds necessary, miraculously even, that came in. At one point, we only had like $18,000 that we had come up with. And then within the last few days of our deadline, all of the rest of the money came in. And we were able to get the loans necessary. We were able to get the money to pay for it, which in and of itself right there was, again, confirmation to me that that was right. And here's another cool thing. After I said yes, I went for 2 weeks with this complete amazing experience where I felt so good. I saw people as people. I loved people. I did not care what people thought about me. I lived in this confident state that I had only experienced a couple times briefly throughout my life. And this happened for 2 weeks straight. And it came from following that prompting to hire a professional mentor. Again, before I had even met with that mentor, the process of paying for the mentor had taught me way more than actually that money was even worth in my mind. So why should you hire a professional mentor? Because it will change your life. That's one reason. Secondly, because in order to get where you want to go, you need help. And why not ask those people who already have and who already are where you want to be? It makes sense. Sure, it might cost some money, but in the end, it will be far more valuable to have that professional mentor guiding you than to ask Mr. Joe Schmo next to you who also wants what you want but isn't there. And then you go through all these routes trying to figure it out and it's not working. It's, well, because he's never been there. Professional mentors are valuable. Figure out what you want. Find someone out there who has what you want and go ask them to mentor you. And if they ask for money, willingly and gratefully pay for them. because you will find that the value you get from that experience will be far more valuable than the actual dollars you pay. You're worth it. You matter. And professional mentors are worth it. So thank you for being here with me today to understand the importance of mentors. If this information is valuable to you, please share it. Share it with others, like it below, and comment and share with us your experiences and how what we are sharing with you is providing value for you. Again, thank you for being here with us, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.